Hello, welcome back to LATOKEN Venture Capital TV. As usual, we have a great project for today. We have the CEO, in which he's going to be answering all our questions that we're going to have for him. It's a great project. It's very, very large in its own market. And he has the availability today to answer any questions that you may have. So please post your questions or comments in the chat box. My name is Xavier. I'll be your host for today, and we want to bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. Before we move on to the interview, as a reminder, you can see our previous shows and content by visiting latoken.com/VCTV/shows. Also, follow us on our socials like Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button so you can always get the great content opportunities and even giveaways. One last reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Please do your research before making any decision. It's your choice and your responsibility. And with that said, I would like to welcome Santosh, the CEO of XET Project. Santosh, very welcome.
Thank you, Xavier. Glad to be here and talk a little bit about what we are building at XFinite.
Glad, yeah, very, very happy to have you here. I did have problems in pronouncing the CEO part. I'm very used to the
Stands for Chief
CEO.
Ecosystem Officer. Apparently, this is one of the most important positions in a blockchain company because in crypto entities, and you got to build projects with the community. So, so I basically connect the product business models and token economic models with the community.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Santosh, Xfinite, we know, and I was been checking the website. It is building a decentralized entertainment ecosystem, and that's only one part of it, because then you also have Zalo, which has 15 million registered users in their streaming service. So that's a lot to take in. So why don't we go by parts? Can you please introduce yourself and introduce your project? And if you would like to introduce a little bit of the team, who's the team behind it?
Yeah, awesome. So I'll start off with introducing myself, and then we'll move on to XFinite. I'm
Mhm.
Santosh Joshua. I'm the Chief Ecosystem Officer at XFinite, also abbreviated as CECO. XFinite is a decentralized entertainment ecosystem, and we believe entertainment is a great means to bring mass adoption to blockchain and crypto markets. We've actually started taking a different path to most crypto projects, which start with a token and then ship out products. We started as a product. The product we built a few years ago is called Mazalo. Mazalo is a decentralized streaming application. We believe the hypothesis with which we started Mazalo is today in the content ecosystem, you either have subscription video on demand platforms like Netflix, who are now planning to move to advertising models, or you have advertising video on demand platforms like YouTube, which are all Web2 native content ecosystems. However, we felt as we spoke to more of these content creators, studios, and consumers, we felt the content value chain today is broken. The value contributors and consumers of value in this content ecosystem don't make the most. And we felt, especially users. So I'll start with users and then come back to creators.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
today, as a user, you get to pay to watch content on subscription video on demands, or
Mhm.
you watch free videos on YouTube, but you're always bombarded with advertising and you have no skin in the game, although you are the product and your data is getting monetized on advertisements. So we felt there should be a Web3 native business model in the content ecosystem, maybe abbreviated to something like earn video on demand. With that hypothesis, we started Mazalo a couple of years ago, and we launched this in India, as India is our 0 to 1 market. And currently, Mazalo has more than 7,000 plus movies, a ton of content partners, 25 plus content studio partnerships, etc. And we've launched it as a product first approach to our users. And today, till date, we have 15 million registered users. And in September 2021, we've decided to launch a token to decentralize the value we've accumulated. And what happened between the time we launched a product and we launched a token? The plan was always to launch a token and run it as a decentralized network. However, as you're aware, Indian regulations were quite shaky in the past couple of years that didn't allow us to launch it because majority of our users are from India. So
Yeah.
as we've actually joined a council called BACC under Internet and Mobile Association of India and championed for how crypto regulations can form in the country. And as we noticed more positive regulations coming up, we've launched a token last year.
Hmm.
The token is called XET, standing for Exfonite Entertainment Token. So how does Mazalo, Exfonite, all of this get connected? So think of Exfonite as the user-owned network. This network can have various dApps,
Yeah.
and this network will eventually consolidate under Exfonite. And we plan to have product lines under two verticals, because decentralized entertainment can have one consumption of this entertainment. On the other side is an ownership of this entertainment assets. So Mazalo is our streaming platform on which you can consume entertainment content. We're also launching an NFT marketplace called Mazalo NFT. It's currently in beta. So
Hmm.
Mazalo is the streaming. Mazalo NFT is where you can own different media assets within our ecosystem, and Exfonite is the decentralized network where you can own this network by owning XET, the token.
And sorry, the media assets that you're referring to, that will be like videos, short videos.
Yeah, so that is again coming, just zooming into our hypothesis around NFTs, right? So today NFTs are, majority of our NFTs are digital art and collectibles, but our hypothesis is as we go into the future, we think NFT is a Web3 native file format for various media assets. It can be video, audio, music, meme, GIF. I think all these things can eventually come onto NFTs. So Mazalo NFTs is the dedicated NFT marketplace for our ecosystem, where our users can own every single media asset in future. So that includes even movies to an extent, right? Even music. So we are currently making all these experiments behind the scenes,
Okay.
because to bring all these media assets onto blockchain, you not only need just technology, you also need to have the right regulatory framework to
Hmm.
get there. So in this front, I want to talk a little more about one of the most recent developments which happened within our ecosystem. Exfonite is now one of the pilot recipients of Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority license, along with the likes of Binance, FTX, Kraken, to name a few of these license recipients. So
What's the name of the license? Is it a?
it's called VARA, standing for Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority from Dubai. So we are one of the recipients. We are actually the only entertainment project to receive this. I think there's a metaverse project which also received this called Sandbox.
Hmm.
So our the goal to get this license is we can actually combine the regulatory landscape along with the technology. This way, we can tokenize in future movies, music, various media assets within our ecosystem, and allow our users and community to buy into this in a much more safer view, so safer point of view.
Oh, that's great. How long did it take you to get the Wara license from Dubai? Let me
So
ask.
our team has done a pretty good. I mean, it took us a while, definitely. I mean, we were in touch with the regulators there. The regulators in Dubai are also quite proactive. I think Dubai is becoming one of the prominent crypto destinations after what happened in Switzerland. Some of these pockets where crypto innovations happen, I think we're quite bullish on Dubai. At this point, would love to talk a little more about our team. So our CEO is Swaneeth. He comes from ex-Goldman Sachs background, and has
Hmm.
worked pretty closely with media ecosystem in the past. Our COO, Vikram, comes from backgrounds. He's worked with Star, Disney, and Discovery in the past, and has led ad sales in different media ecosystems. So the regulatory work, to be honest, has been the heavy lifting on that was done by our CEO and COO. I take care of the token and the community, but I think it's a great milestone in our journey, because we are the only entertainment project to receive this. So this way, we can zoom into how music NFTs, movie NFTs, different media assets can be NFTified and bought and sold without the worry of whether this is a security or a non-security, and how does regulators react to buying or owning of these assets. That's one part of it. But however, I think the heavy lifting has to be done more on the product and user side. We have fantastic product team as well. Apart from leadership team, we are around 50 plus full-time contributors to this project, and we
Hmm.
have almost 25 plus part-time contributors. Majority of our contributors are product builders and engineers and developers. Currently, we have two product lines live. That's Mazalo.com and Mazalo NFT, and soon we are on the back of this license which we recently acquired. We are planning to launch a third product line vertical, which allows for tokenization of movies, music, etc.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Santosh. Uh, I wanted to touch base a little bit on what you mentioned before about that the streaming service currently or the market is broken. In that sense, with the streaming that you have with Mamzalo and the NFT part, when people will just make their short videos and upload them, then they would own that as an NFT, right? Versus right now, what's happening, if you make a X video and you upload it to YouTube, YouTube has the rights and to control it, sell it, do whatever they want, and you have to accept that. That's in the terms and conditions. Whereas with Mzalo NFT, then they would own it. They have the rights and they can profit from it. Am I right?
Correct. So that's the eventual plan. Of course, it doesn't work like that today. Majority of content on Mazalo today is studio licensed, because we felt for users to actually come on and engage with crypto ecosystem, streaming ecosystem, there are certain challenges to make this change happen. But eventually, the plan is to get there. I'll talk about where we are today, and then let's talk about how we intend to use these product lines to get to that future where
Yep.
there's a decentralized ecosystem where everything happens in a user owned or contributor owned way. So when we started, we didn't have crypto within our ecosystem. We started Mazalo.com with Mazalo coins. As you can see, there are zero coins, or there's a wallet, etc., on your
Yeah.
screen. So Mazalo coins are blockchain tokens which don't have trading, crypto trading side of things. This is how we ring fenced our business model from regulatory risks in the start. So today, when you go to Mazalo.com and watch, engage in content, you earn Mazalo coins as rewards, which are blockchain tokens but not tradable outside of our ecosystem. Now you can take these coins and you can redeem against different redemption partners. Maybe you could find these partners in Bid and Win or some of these sections of our application. So we currently have 600 plus reward partners, which includes like brands like McDonald's or different places where you can access discounts through these Mazalo coins, or you can swap these Mazalo coins to XET to complete the watch and earn loop, right? Um, and we recently connected Mazalo.com with XET like a couple of months ago, and so far we've seen almost 200k plus wallets. That means what does this 200k number signify? So 200k plus wallets, these are people who are coming on to crypto for the first time. Majority of them are coming to crypto for the first time through us. They earn Mazalo coins by watching content, and they're swapping these Mazalo coins to XET. And XET, I want to zoom a little bit into XET. XET is a Algorand standard asset. We built this token on Algorand blockchain. Algorand has been one of the long-term partners who supported us right from our inception, and we also believe in what Algorand has done. So one, it has abstracted the complexity of gas costs, and we've picked Algorand as a blockchain because we are a project built for mainstream adoption. We couldn't build this on blockchains where gas costs were higher. And second, we also believe in Algorand's consensus, which is pure POS, which eventually also fights the centralization challenges of various POS networks. And we received phenomenal support not only from Algorand team and the blockchain, but the ecosystem is also quite supportive. XET is currently listed on a couple of centralized exchanges like MEXC and Bitmart. And we are also available on decentralized exchanges on Algorand, such as Tinyman, AlgoFi, and we are soon going to be live on HumbleSwap. It's another DEX. The DeFi ecosystem in Algorand is quite strong. And also to mention, we're soon going to be on LATOKEN as well. So quite excited for that event too.
Indeed, and that is something that I wanted to mention to our viewers today, to our traders, because Exonite will be in La Token listed in this month, in the coming weeks. So please keep an eye open on the La Token announcement channels on Telegram. We will let you know before time. So that's going to be also a great uh, a great push for the project, and we're very proud to have you with our listing exchange. So very, very excited about that, Santosh. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I also want to zoom a little bit into Mazalo NFT. So now on one side, there's a vibrant streaming ecosystem. Now, how do we enable people to own this ecosystem? So that's one part of the challenge I want to talk about in this session. And second, I think even before we go into NFTs, I want to talk about how we will transition from the studio licensed model to a hybrid model where content is not only studio quality but also can become user generated over time. So today most of our content is studio quality, so we have
Mhm.
7,000 plus movies within the ecosystem. Our 0 to 1 market is India, so most of this content is Indian language content. So when I say Indian language content, so India has various languages. We have Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. There are various language content which can be accessed today on Mazalo. And this is studio license. So we have 25 plus content partners from whom we've acquired these licenses. We've also built some interesting technologies. So let's talk first about how this streaming ecosystem will work. So imagine something like um, an Axie Infinity or a play to earn game. What these games have done to gaming, we plan to do that to streaming. So today, when you engage in streaming economy, you either have to pay to watch this content, or you watch this content for free. And then usually it's hard to watch this content for free, because even if you go to YouTube, you can watch most of user generated content for free. Studio licensed content is not available in something like YouTube. So first, when we launched Mazalo, we've actually democratized access to this content, right? That's step one. On top of this, we've said you not only get to watch this content for free, you also get to earn from this content, which is a very exciting proposition for developing markets, because most of our average customers actually come from not only tier 1 but also tier 2 tier 3 places in India, where average monthly earn ratios of these people are quite lower. And imagine if you have an opportunity to do what you really like to do, but also get an opportunity to earn from it, which is a great value proposition. How do we make this sustainable? We make this sustainable by by being less extractive than existing Web 2 platforms, right? So we haven't yet turned on advertising on Mazalo, but as we are behind the scenes working on a very interesting technology where advertising on Mazalo will not be as intrusive as something like a YouTube advertising, right? Where majority of us don't even watch that ad. We're actually waiting for that skip ad button to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up
yeah,
and we
yeah.
can skip
That's
ad.
me.
So, so we built an interesting technology where we can actually overlay advertising into the content without being intrusive. That means imagine, let's say there's a actor and actress probably hanging out in a cafe. On a table, we can actually replace a particular Coke bottle with, let's say, we can replace it to a Pepsi bottle, in a non-intrusive way where you don't even feel that there's an ad currently in that particular video. So we're working on this technology behind the scenes. once this technology is up and running, we are going to switch on advertising on Mazalo. And as you keep watching, we get paid from advertisers, but we're willing to share a part of that revenue with our customers, unlike most Web2 platforms who just sell your data and take the entire advertising revenue. This is how users get paid on Mazalo on one side. On the other
Mm-hmm.
side, as we through tokenization and XET, we plan to scale from just studio licensed content like what you see today to a hybrid model where there is studio licensed content, there's also user generated content like you said. And as we scale into this model, we allow for creators to come on board into Mazalo and create streams, channels, etc., and they can start earning from this exercise. On the other side, we launched Mazalo NFT. I would love you to open Mazalo NFT. It is currently in beta, but
Okay.
Mazalo NFT is
Yes.
an NFT marketplace within our ecosystem. It's where you can buy NFTs using XET, our token. You can also buy using various crypto assets in future. But MazaloNFT.com, it's not live yet, but we start with digital art NFTs within our ecosystem, but slowly scale into that future where you said where people can own a part of a song, part of a video, or part of a movie, which is very exciting. So if you zoom into, let's say, art section um, of our of our NFT, you can see some very interesting artwork. And the artwork which you currently see is designed by this gentleman called Charles Darby, who is the VFX artist of Harry Potter, Tron, Matrix, and
Oh, wow.
Titanic. So Charles is the first exclusive artist who's coming on board to Mazalo NFT, and all this art can be bought using natively using our token XET. And from here, we will slowly scale into different NFT assets outside of digital art and collectibles. We had to start with digital art and collectibles because the market today is quite used to it. I think everybody is used to buying NFTs, which are digital art and collectibles. Then comes the next phase, where as we transition Mazalo from studio license to a studio license plus user generated model, you will start seeing more of these assets coming onto Mazalo NFT. And on the other side, we are also pairing this entire exercise with the license we've got, because to actually put rights, royalties of various media assets on blockchain, you need to have clear cut regulatory clarity. You don't want people to buy into assets which are securities, but you are selling them as non securities, will put them in danger, which is where I think the Dubai Vara license we have is truly revolutionary for our industry. Today, today I think people already understand how music NFTs work. But imagine that to work across the world, you need to have a solid regulatory framework in which you operate. So from digital art, we could move into those sort of NFTs as Mazalo.com moves from just studio license to a hybrid model.
Okay, so somebody who's like obviously not a studio, somebody smaller, but it likes to create content, then that person would come to uh, Masalo NFT to upload
Correct.
it there, right? Okay.
Yes, yes. So Mazalo NFT will also have another section called NFT Launchpad, where a creator will be able to raise capital from his fans if he wants some capital to even produce that content. So this is a future we dream of. There are various challenges to pass through to get there, and we are fully dedicated to make that future a reality.
Okay, very good. This is really interesting. That in itself, I haven't really seen a project like this, especially your license. I think that makes a big differentiator. Now we did speak a little bit about the token getting involved in the whole project and ecosystem. Do you want to go deeper into that?
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about XCT purposes. XCT becomes the backbone of this watch and earn or play to earn streaming economy. First, that's the top purpose of the token. Apart from this, XCT also serves as a atomic unit of ownership of the network for people to own various assets within the network and the network itself. We had a brand new website launched last month, so Quite excited for that as well. And we received a lot of community contributions to actually make this version. So quite happy we are building out a community. So that's where the second purpose of XCT lies in, eventually to enable community to own a part of the content ecosystem and the part of the network itself. So one, work as backbone for play to earn. Second, work as atomic unit of ownership of the network. Then it has other purposes such as staking. So we've launched an exciting initiative called XSPO, standing for Exponite Stake Pool Offering. We are also going to launch a product line on this front. Currently, we've tested XSPO with different staking platforms within Algorand ecosystem, such as Yieldy. That was the first experiment we've done, and we have some interesting staking pools on Yieldy where you can stake XCT, get XCT as rewards. You can stake XCT LP tokens on various decentralized exchanges and receive Yearly as a reward. Apart from Yearly, we are also on TinyMan, which is a decentralized exchange on Algorand and AlgoFi. So the purpose of XSPO is to use staking as a tool to bootstrap liquidity into the token. So that's the third purpose of the token. So XCT as a staking token is the third utility. And the fourth eventual goal, as you said, as we scale into a fully decentralized network. So most networks um, aim to become a decentralized network, but it's hard to become a decentralized network from day one, unless you are something like Bitcoin. So,
Hmm.
so we believe in something called progressive decentralization. That's where XCT plays a key role. The goal is eventually to enable governance rights into the token as well. That way, community not only gets to own a part of the network, but also gets to decide where the network is going to go in future. So that's the fourth purpose. Just to revise, um, XCT as a reward for play to earn, XCT as atomic unit of ownership of the network, XCT as a staking token, and XCT as a governance token. These are the four major purposes of the token at this point of time.
Okay, thank you. And of course, once again, a reminder to our traders that XET will be available listed in LATOKEN in the coming weeks. So please keep an eye in our Telegram channel, the announcements. We will be informed. You'll be informed there. And if you do not have an account in LATOKEN, please simply go to latoken.com, open an account, and you only need one piece of ID to upload, and you'll be ready to trade. Right. So we do have a couple of questions from our viewers. So I think we can start taking the questions. From Tamim Iqbal is asking, what kind of partnerships with different projects, platforms, protocols can we expect from Mazalo in the future?
Very nice. So I'll start with content partnerships. So today we have 25 plus content partners. We are partnered with India's largest production studio called Eros Now or Eros International. Eros Now is also one of the top 5 OTT platforms in India. And one of the interesting part is we are embedded. Eros Now is a subscription video on demand like Netflix. We are embedded within their platform. So if you go to erosnow.com and if you don't want to go past the paywall, you don't want to subscribe, you have a freemium section, which is mazalo.com. That means we're also embedded within other OTT platforms. So content partnerships is one of the biggest pillar because content drives engagement, and in future maybe even content drives commerce within our ecosystem. So content partnerships, one. Two, redemption partners are very important because these redemption partners eventually can even accept our token to as a payment within their ecosystem. So today we have 600 plus reward partners that include some of the top brands within India and outside India, where you can redeem Mazalo coins for various benefits. So redemption partners are the second important partnerships. Then we have some crypto native partnerships, which are important as well, which allows for the token to receive awareness as well as traction, such as different decentralized exchanges where you can buy them, different centralized exchanges where you can access them, such as LATOKEN, etc. These are interesting partnerships. We also have a ongoing partnership with Microsoft that allows us to not only build robust streaming infrastructure, but also foray into how blockchain as a service, etc., works on one side. Algorand is a very important partner and also one of our investors within the token round we have done in the past.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering that, Santosh. Let's go back a little bit to the tokens. What are the benefits for investors, or what can investors expect when they will invest in your token?
Yeah, so I believe we are one of the most underrated projects because we were a build first project. We didn't start with a token and a community. We've actually started with a product and user community. So today, Exfonite's community is um, can be categorized into different parts which will unite in future. So today, our users are not crypto native. They're actually users looking to engage in the content ecosystem, and they're probably coming to crypto for the first time through XET, right? On the other side, we have the token, which can be bought in different exchanges, and we have a Telegram community, a Twitter community, where our crypto native community is there. So in future, we see these 15 million registered users, and the future users who will come onto Mazalo, and the crypto community where we have 20,000 plus community on Telegram, and we have similar numbers on Twitter, for example. We foresee these communities merging in future, and that's when I think the true potential of XCT is realized. Even in terms of utility, today our token is trading primarily on the back of the initial partnerships and the launch we have done. The utility is being realized as we connect this token to our product lines, and I think that true utility is what will allow us to survive even this current market conditions. I think it's a great time to for builders and build first projects like ourselves, and it's also a great time for people to rethink about utility, because I think most of these utility tokens in the market today are being traded on the back of speculation. But at least I think in the future cycle, I would like to see more utility tokens, most of these utility tokens being bought or sold for the utility they stand for. So that's the goal for XET.
Okay, that's great. And you mentioned something that it was is leading to my next question about what makes your project different than others. And one thing you mentioned, if I may, that makes a lot of sense is that you already had an existing project. You already were giving a service of streaming, right, with Mazalo. You just then added up the part of the blockchain on it. But the important thing, I think, the differentiator from what I see is that the project you had already existed. A lot of the new projects that are coming in, they have a great idea, but nothing is done. They want to raise the equity and start doing it. Some of them don't do it, some of them do it. But that's a little bit of the risk, right? Here on the other side, the risk is minimized because the project already exists. You have already 15 million registered users. So you started the right way. You started with the project and then just put on top the blockchain part. So I think that's for my as an outsider, that is for me is one major differentiator. But from your side, as you are the developer, what other differentiators do you have?
Yeah, just to be factually correct, we were always on blockchain. Mazalo.com was also
Okay.
on blockchain, just that it didn't have a publicly traded crypto angle to it. But I get the point. So I feel for any successful crypto network, it needs to have three things, right? So it first needs to have a product which people want to use. It needs to have a business model that is sustainable, and I think this is common to a crypto startup or a non-crypto startup. But what's special about crypto startups is you also need to have a token economic model that brings network effects to one and two. So we started with a product. We have a live all our product suite are user first. So that's sorted. What's unique about us is a business model, because so far in the crypto ecosystem, you would have seen most of these decentralized streaming platforms, which are coming from an infrastructure point of view, but not from a business model point of view. So that means it's really hard to achieve efficiency in streaming similar to a centralized streaming platform today, because decentralized streaming infrastructure is not quite there. So most decentralized streaming platforms are coming from this point of view, whereas Xfinite, we felt I think the disruption has to come from a business model point of view rather than infrastructure point of view, because initially, for people to adopt, because the infrastructure is not there. So if you are a decentralized streaming platform who is trying to take on the current streaming giants with an infrastructure that is not up there, you're really fighting an uphill battle, right? So which is where Xfinite is different from most decentralized streaming platforms, because we first felt there needs to be an economic revolution similar to what play to earn games are doing to gaming today. So imagine us doing to streaming what Axie Infinity did to gaming, right? So it's changing how the business model and the economics work today. So that's one unique factor about us. And the third comes the token, right? So the token is designed to achieve network effects to both the product as well as the business model, which is why our first purpose of the token is to serve as a backbone to the play to earn or the watch to earn ecosystem. And then what also the second differentiator is, I personally believe crypto networks, when designed well, have unparalleled network effect advantages, because tokens can move value at internet scale, which was not possible before tokens, right? So let's say if I would like to incentivize um, our community, which exists in, let's say, 50 plus different countries, there's no way I can incentivize them with a paper equity, right? It's a regulatory, accounting, financial nightmare to actually do that without a token. So that's where I think, being a crypto focused streaming platform, we have an opportunity to get these network effects. However, all of this is based on how the adoption for crypto comes through. So I think protocols today, majority of protocols are developer protocols. They're built for developers, because we are all, as an ecosystem, building the infrastructure for future. I think the next decade is all about consumer protocols, because unless consumers move into crypto, I don't think it makes sense to build infrastructure just without them, actually, because all these developer protocols are actually building the backbones for the future consumers to come. But who will get these consumers to Web3? We need projects like Xfinite who can bring these consumers to Web3. And entertainment and streaming, everybody today engages in content, right? So content consumption is like an everyday activity for everyone. It's even more common than gaming. So I know gaming is bringing mainstream adoption, but not everybody is a gamer in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think my dad or mom engages in gaming every day, but they do consume content. So yeah, that way I think quite bullish on entertainment ecosystems bringing mainstream adoption to blockchain.
Okay, great. Thank you. Uh, let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. Now, I know it's
Okay.
very hard now with everything that's happening, market conditions, authorities, and so on, technology developing so fast. It's very hard to forecast what's going to happen in the future. But where would you wish your project to be in 3 years from now?
Yeah, I think anybody who survives this market condition, I think this bear cycle is gonna do well in the next cycle for sure. The challenge is all about survival, one, and how do you also build and make progress in this market condition, right? So we are quite focused on build first. We Our team is quite dedicated about this. We will weather the storm and survive this market. In terms of our roadmap, we're currently in Algorand ecosystem where we're well known, but we also want to get to other ecosystems. Today, the challenge is we have various blockchains, and these blockchains are working like siloed ecosystems. But we foresee these ecosystems talking to each other. I mean, that's already happening through various interoperability initiatives, although the interoperability is still at a token level. So I think that's one important step in our roadmap. Our team has built a bridge to bridge Algorand standard assets to um, blockchains like BNB chain or other EVM compatible chains. We're closely working with Algorand team as well to make this happen. So this way we can bridge tokens, not only our native token XET, but also various NFTs built within our ecosystem to other popular ecosystems such as Ethereum, BNB chain, etc. That's, I think, a major move. One. then we would like to launch a product which is fully integrated with the regulatory approval we currently have with Dubai Vara. I think these two are um, really key initiatives in the next 1 year. Um, I think I don't have a 3 year long strict roadmap because we want to be agile and flexible enough. As in crypto, 3 years is like a lifetime. But I think the most immediate steps for us is to bridge XET outside of our Algorand ecosystem and work with other blockchains, go multi-chain, and leverage the regulatory licenses. We're also planning to make our token available on popular exchanges, and being listed on LATOKEN is a very interesting step for us. I
Yeah.
also want to talk about how we got this listing. This is also because of the power of our community.
Mhm.
So we've got our community actually allowed us to win a listing competition on your exchange, and that's how we got in. So that's a
Oh,
very
listen competition.
encouraging side
Okay,
of
good.
community contribution, right?
Yeah, they helped. All right. Okay, good. I was not aware of that. That's great. That shows the power of the community.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not surprised you have like what is it, 15 million registered users. So that you must have a huge community. And also
Yeah,
do
but the challenge is not all of them are crypto
yeah,
native, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that's
one more challenge we would like to address. How do we bridge mainstream users to crypto without having the need for them to learn about all the complexities of blockchain, the jargon? How do we make UX super simple, right? So today, if you go to Mazalo.com and you get Mazalo coins, it's quite simple for you to swap to XET. And I have ton of case studies here, like people who are like driving cabs, driving autos, who are actually watching this and earning tokens. I met one of my friends driver who actually watches Mazalo, and I was quite surprised. And he's telling me, I've made my first crypto through you guys. So that's probably the revolution I'm quite excited about. Like mainstream people who are unaware of what crypto is, but they're able to use crypto. And that's the whole point, right? Blockchain and Web3 is a back-end revolution. You don't necessarily have to know this if you're a user. You need to know this if you're a developer. I think we are at that point of time where these lines are getting blurred, and excited to see how the next few years of Web3 is going to roll out.
yeah, if your team can manage to bring the crypto to the masses, then that'll be like a major differentiator for your project. One last question I have, Santosh, is currently you're focusing obviously in the Indian market. Are you planning to expand with time internationally?
Yeah, definitely. I think our international expansion should be led by our token community, which is where the token plays a key role, be it in terms of bringing various creators, influencers, studio licensed content. Uh, Whenever we have to expand to another ecosystem, our standard operating procedure is to get content and creators first. And once you have content, you get users. So we would like to use the token as a backbone to get there. That's the whole idea. 0 to 1 is India, and 1 to 100 network effects should come from the token ecosystem.
Okay, great, great. Good to hear that. Then once again for our viewers, as a reminder, eh, the project will be listed in LATOKEN XET. Okay, this will happen in the coming 2 weeks. Please keep an eye open in the Telegram announces channel of LATOKEN. If you have an if you have an account with LATOKEN, you simply put in the ticker and you'll be able to join the project. If not, you can open an account in LATOKEN simply by uploading one piece of ID. It's that simple. Santosh, thank you very much. Has been fantastic having you here. Do you have any final words for our viewers today?
Thank you, Xavier, first for having me. Very excited for the next milestone. Every goalpost is important for us. Look forward to how our token community can interact with our token and be part of our community. Our community is quite proactive. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to us on our Telegram. Use our products, judge us based on our product lines, and very excited to see how our product lines and token can deliver a fantastic future for all our community members.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Great. Well, once again, thank you very much, Santosh. We hope to have you again here in the show once you have any new development, any demo that you would like to show us, maybe the NFT part, then you're more than welcome.
Thank you, Xavier, for hosting me. Have a
Thank
great day.
you.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.